In 1906, a banker named Stephen Green and his wife Josephine moved from Seattle and built an ornate Queen Anne Victorian residence in their new hometown of Long Beach, California. Walking through it today, you can just feel what they were like. So much attention to detail and so much pride. Today, it's known as the Bembridge House. You can find it on the National Registry of Historic Places and the California Registry of Historic Resources. But this home is much more than an example of late Victorian architecture. It shows what the efforts of a community can do in the name of preservation, local pride, and heritage. Today, we're lucky enough to have Chris Hogan, the president of Long Beach Heritage, to explain what the volunteers do here at the Bembridge House and what the Bembridge House means to the community.
I'm Chris Hogan, and I'm president of Long Beach Heritage. For 9 years, I ran the Bembridge House as Bembridge House chairman, which is a vice presidency position. But last year, I was booted up to becoming Long Beach Heritage president. I've been involved with Long Beach Heritage for quite some time, much longer than 10 years. I worked at International Elementary, which is now Jenny Oropeza, right in downtown Long Beach. Who knew back then when I was teaching third grade, and I brought my third grade students here on a school tour, that I would end up working here. So the Greens built the house in 1906, and as you heard, he was a local banker. In fact, his bank is where La Opera restaurant is now. Mr. Green passed away in 1912, and his widow Josephine sold the house in 1913. We don't know much about the owners after them, but the Rankin family moved in 1919. They were from Nebraska. Dorothy was 9 years old. And Dorothy moved in 1961 after her father died. Dorothy lived in the house by herself for almost 40 years. She passed away here in 1999. So that's why the house is the Dorothy Bembridge House, because she was definitely the longest resident, from 9 to 89. When Long Beach Heritage purchased the house in 2000, all of the contents came with it. So this makes the Bembridge House a very unique historic house museum because everything in it belonged to Dorothy. Very, very few historic house museums are lucky to have that. Our website is www.lbheritage.org, so you can find information about Long Beach Heritage and the Bembridge House on the website.
Wow, the Bembridge House is an outstanding example of how a few volunteers can make a big difference in a community. I mean, when you think about it, it's owned by a nonprofit, ran by volunteers, and for the benefit of the community. I really gotta say, the volunteers and the people involved are every bit as spectacular as this beautiful home.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Chris, and thank you to also all the volunteers with Long Beach Heritage and the Bembridge House. I encourage everybody, if you get a chance, please come down here, take one of the guided tours, maybe have a community event here or attend a community event. Hey, perhaps make a donation or volunteer yourself. You'll be glad you did. Community matters. People making a difference locally because community matters. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and see you next time.